We have an article out on our website right now talking about Jerome Powell. He was in front of Congress last week giving testimony, and he said something that absolutely floored me, which was that Congress needs to be responsible with the debt because it's going to actually impact future generations, and that the economy now needs to grow faster than the debt. You know, I was stunned by this considering the fact that we're now running 105% of debt to GDP roughly, and I mean, debt is driving the economy. It takes almost $4 of debt to generate $1 worth of economic growth. It's pretty stunning.
Essentially what he said is that our debt has grown faster than our economy. So to put that in simple terms, it would be like if your personal debt was growing faster than your income. You can do it for a while, but to do it consistently for decades, eventually you get to the point where the debt can't be serviced. We know we're at that point, Lance, because what is the Fed doing? They keep lowering the Fed funds rate to some obnoxiously low level. They're providing liquidity to the market so that banks can create more loans. What are those loans for? To help roll over the old loans and create new loans. So it's a Ponzi scheme of sorts.
Jeffrey Epstein didn't kill himself. Warren Buffett. You know, Warren Buffett's an interesting guy because, you know, he runs Berkshire Hathaway. He's worth like $80 billion. Didn't do too bad for himself. And so there's always all these articles written about Warren Buffett, you know, what he says and all this. He says, you know, basically investors should just buy an S&P index fund and just sit on it because, you know, you can't do any better, right? That's as good as you're going to do. But, you know, Warren Buffett's kind of an interesting character because he's more of do what I say, don't necessarily do what I do. It's interesting because, you know, he talks about how the wealthy people should pay more in taxes, yet he's fighting $1 billion tax bill.
You mean he didn't write a check?
He didn't write a check. You know, this is the other thing. Look, and we've talked about this before. I'm going to solve all you rich people's problems that you think you should pay more in taxes. Here's a really easy way to do it. You write a check, and in the Momo line, you put it, please pay down the national debt and send it to the U.S. Treasury, and they will apply it to the national debt. So if you want to stroke a check for a couple of $1 billion, you don't have to wait to file taxes. You can send a check to the government anytime you want. In fact, for all you other yahoos that send me emails talking about how the rich should pay more in taxes, well, feel free. If you want to pay more taxes, right? If you think people should pay more in taxes, write a check, right? Put your money where your mouth is, lead by example, and I'm all with you. You know what? If you do it, I'll do it.
But you go first.
But yeah, because this is what everybody does, right? All these people, they jawbone this really great. Oh, yeah, us rich people, we need to pay more in taxes. Great, write a check. Nobody's stopping you. Right? There's no law that says you can't write a check to the U.S. Treasury, say, please pay down the national debt. And they will apply it to the national debt. They will pay down the Treasury. Nothing's stopping you. But what do they all do? Right? They're all donating to charities, putting money in blind trust, and doing everything they can to not pay taxes. Federal Express just paid $0 in taxes last year. Jeffrey Epstein didn't kill himself. Black Friday, right around the corner. It's always good for retailers. Starts on Wednesday with Walmart. Come on. You can't call it Black Friday when it starts on Wednesday. Now, the whole term Black Friday very quickly is that used to be the day that, you know, stores would open up after Thanksgiving. The next day, on Friday, they would open up and people would come shop, and that was the day where retailers would go into the black for the year in terms of their profitability. And so that's where they made their money, and that's where Black Friday came from. Well, in order to try to get more and more sales in, they've had to keep moving it back, right? So Black Friday is now Black Thursday, Friday. Now it's Black Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. And what's interesting is that we now count Black Friday as one day, even though it's 3 days long. And then we say, woohoo, right? They beat earnings. You know, they had more sales this year than they did last year, even though they had 2 extra days to shop. It's just insanity, but that's how things are spun. But anyway, so that is coming up next week. A lot of people are getting, out in heavy training. I was in the gym yesterday. There were women on treadmills with shopping bags, just getting ready to go.
But I'll bump.
Limbering up.
Yeah, because you got to be able to deal with the extra weight, right? So there you go. Yeah. Jeffrey Epstein didn't kill himself. The week before Thanksgiving, it's the best week of the year. Christmas is
This
very
week or next week?
Next week is Thanksgiving, right?
Yeah.
I mean, arguably, right? Thanksgiving is a much better holiday than Christmas.
Okay, I got to hear your thoughts on this.
The food's so much better on Thanksgiving.
So is somebody different cooking your Thanksgiving meal versus your Christmas meal? I mean,
The Christmas meal kind of gets put in the background because of, everybody opening presents and all that other stuff. But
Okay.
Thanksgiving is all about the food. So everybody really goes out on Thanksgiving to make their best
so
dishes.
the main
right?
event is the food,
Exactly.
not the toys and everything else.
Well, when was the last time you got toys?
Oh man, I'm so in the sock category now. It's
I know,
terrible.
right? I was trying to explain this to my kids the other day because my daughter, she's 16, and she's like, well, I want this and this and this for Christmas. I go, sweetie, I said, you're too old for Christmas now. That doesn't work anymore. She goes, if you don't believe, you don't receive. And I'm like,
I don't believe you're going to receive. That's pretty funny. That's
yeah.
good stuff.
But the most wanted products by teenagers this year for Christmas:
Yeah.
Apple,
Okay.
Louis Vuitton.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah. Kids aren't entitled
So Louis Vuitton for children.
for teenagers.
Okay.
Teenagers, right? They want Louis Vuitton bags, whatever, for Christmas, and Apple products.
Sure, you, my child will not have a Louis Vuitton anything.
And $1,000. But don't forget, if you buy the Louis Vuitton bag, you have to buy the $1,000 iPhone.
Well, does that go with it?
I presume so. They want both. It's not one or the other. They want both.
Louis got smart. Probably have an iPhone pocket. They're in cahoots.
Exactly.
There's a co-marketing opportunity here.
Bingo. Jeffrey Epstein didn't kill himself. This weekend I had notified all the public media that I'd be making an appearance, and they all agreed to show up. And then I decided at the last minute that I was going to move it somewhere else and didn't tell anybody.
How'd that work out for you?
Nobody showed up.
You think?
Russell, I need your help here for a second, buddy. Look, Colin Kapernick, I mean, love him, hate him, whatever. You have an opportunity to maybe get back in the NFL. Everybody agrees to show up to the Atlanta Falcons Stadium to watch you have a workout, and then you decide to pull it and move it somewhere else. How does this work out well for you?
And not very well.
Yeah.
I mean, really.
I mean, can you explain to me what he was thinking? I mean, he said he wanted it open, so
He wanted transparency.
yeah. Who cares? You're trying out for a football team.
And the funny thing is that over half the teams wind up not showing up because of his change.
Look, you've coached sports. I've coached sports. If you've got a team player who's not a team player, do you want him on your team?
You're not playing.
Exactly. I mean, he's the reason he's out of the NFL is because he was disruptive to begin with, and now you pull this stunt. If I'm a coach, I'm going, I got plenty of other choices to choose from. I don't need this.
I'll agree wholeheartedly.
Yeah. He's not getting any older. He's like, 34?
He's 32, 33.
Yeah. I mean, your time frame for playing in the NFL is rapidly running out.
And he hasn't played in 3 years now?
Exactly. That may be the end of his clock right there. I'm not quite sure. I was trying to just understand the mentality this weekend. Why on earth? First of all, your ability to play in the NFL. Let's just put this out there, right? If you play football, your odds of getting in the NFL are probably less than 1%. And if you do get there, the odds of you playing are even still pretty stretched. And to have an opportunity where it was 28 teams, Russell, is that right?
28 teams that were going to show up, and once he made the change, only 8 of them showed.
Yeah, look, you've got 28 teams showing up to watch you. I mean, that amazed me. I was surprised that there were that many people even interested in him at this point after 3 years being out. And then to pull that stunt, I was like, what on earth are you thinking? I was trying to wrap my head around that this weekend.
You can't fix stupid, Lance.
Jeffrey Epstein didn't kill himself.